For 7 days for the troops, we're at the Antler just outside of Tupelo, Mississippi. And we're pleased to welcome now the mayor of the great all-American city of Tupelo, Mayor Todd Jordan. Mayor, always good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Always glad to be here, Gerard.
So give us an update. You guys have been grappling with some issues with the natural gas system around Tupelo, right?
Yeah, we almost had a perfect storm this weekend. We had the gas situation, then the flooding up here on Saturday. So, you know, we really been struggling here. But I tell you what, response has been wonderful. They now have over 700 employees here to help. They've got gas restored to over 11,000 homes. So, you know, they're working at 10:30 at night, and if you need them to come after that, they will.
Yeah, well, so you're pleased. Now, is your office in touch with the Atmos folks, or are they proactively contacting you, giving you status reports?
That's right. They give several updates a day. Well, we've had a meeting, a briefing every day since this happened with Atmos and the community.
Okay.
Community leaders, supervisors, and mayors, everyone's affected. All our department heads, anybody that is in municipal or county government is welcome to come. It just an update on kind of where they are, shows them out. And obviously in the beginning, they didn't really know. I mean, you have a main line, then you have all these small lines, and I think they ran into some issues, obviously digging up some of these lines and, repairing them, which we kind of knew was going to happen, but, their response has been wonderful. Okay.
Well, good. We got Public Service Commissioner for the Northern District, Chris Brown, joining the program later. Has their office been supportive as well?
They have. They've been at our briefings also. So,
okay.
Commissioner Brown has been in touch with me and, whatever you need. And of course, this is not our event. This is Atmos's event.
Yeah.
But we're providing security and things like that.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to assist to get our partners with Atmos to get us on a little quicker.
I've always thought, just from my business background, Mayor, that stuff's going to happen. Stuff breaks. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how perfectly designed it is. It's a product of human engineering, and it's subject to failure. The real litmus test of the quality of a company is not whether or not their stuff's going to break. It's what they do when it does.
That's right. And that night, last Wednesday, that night and Thursday, they had technicians here from Texas and all over their 8 states that they cover. It was just and it was refreshing for the community. And look, there's going to be some revenue loss with the restaurants. They have a claim that they can go on Atmos and insurance claim. And it's the frustration, I think, after 4 or 5 days not getting turned back on. And really, communication's been good, but, when they have that much area to cover with the main lines, with the lines off of that, it's tough to let everybody know we're going to be in your neighborhood at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So they've been sending out texts to customers. We're going to be in the neighborhood. We're going to be in the area between these times. So sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't because people have to work. So they have to, go back. But, when everybody that has come in contact with an Atmos employee said they've been wonderful to work with.
Okay. Stressful period for you, Mayor. I mean, you and your team in your office, but you know this. You signed up for this, and I would argue that perhaps just managing infrastructure from a municipal level, I mean, that's top of the list, is it not?
No doubt about it. We spent a lot of money trying to upgrade, but the floods that happened on Saturday, we're going to have multiple streets that are going to need to be repaired over the next several weeks. So we made a list. I was out in the rain Saturday. I like to ride around and look at, we only have so many public work and water and light people that could be out, and they're out working. I was riding around seeing what areas we could help.
Okay. So I just wanted to pass this on real quick, and then we can talk about it a little bit. We announced that the House and Senate have agreed to a tax reform package. It turns out that the House concurred with the entire Senate bill, the amended bill as is, and just a brief recap of that: eliminates the income tax over a period of time based on achievement of certain economic triggers at the state level, no increase in the general sales tax, a decrease in the sales tax on groceries from 7% to 5%. That would take effect this coming July. Creation of a new tier in the public employees retirement system system, Tier 5, and then finally an increase in fuel taxes of 3 cents per year over 3 years to a terminal increase of 9 cents per gallon. Your thoughts about that at this point, Mayor?
Well, obviously, it's going to take a couple of years to see just how we're going to be affected here in Tupelo, with the difference in the fuel tax and the grocery tax. And then I think everybody probably will agree that eliminating the income tax would be the number one thing.
Okay.
And it's just, how do we make up that shortfall? And luckily I'm not in Jackson to make that decision.
It's a state matter.
That's right. But I think that's probably what everybody would agree, especially with the states around us and what they've done. But obviously people know if you take revenue away from one place, you have to replace it somewhere else, because we're not always going to be financially where we are. I mean, you're going to have your ups and downs. There's going to be a time to where it's not going to be that great, may be as good, but it may not get the probably the projection that we're hoping. So you have to be conservative on what you're looking at and make sure you have money in the bank.
Yeah, and we should also point out, as you are aware, that even though there will be a decrease in the sales tax on groceries, the municipalities will be made whole by the state.
Sure. For
the lost diversions there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's, we've kind of been fighting for a higher diversion anyway. I was hoping to get it a couple of years ago. That way we could be in a little better position. But, we can operate where we are. I mean, we have a little bit of surplus every year that we put in our rainy day fund. So, we're fortunate here in Tupelo. And it was not just me. It's the one before me that saw a need to have a rainy day fund. And we got one of the highest, or the highest bond rating in the state. Only 4 cities in Mississippi have it. So we're fortunate. We did have to borrow a little bit of money last year to replace a bridge. We had that on a 4-year payback, but looks like we're going to pay it back in 3.
Oh, that's awesome. Plus, you keep your interest costs down with a high rating. So let's talk about this event, 7 days for the troops. This is really something, Mayor, in your town here.
It is, and you don't get a high-level official like this come to Tupelo, Mississippi.
Incredible.
Hardly ever. But
talking about Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth.
That's right, and congratulations to Scott Burns, 7 Days of Troops, for getting him here. And we had Scott came and spoke to my wife's middle school leadership class a few months ago, and he already had Pete Hegseth coming, and then he got confirmed. He said, "Well, what I do now?" I was like, "I think you probably need to reach out to the senator that lives here and say, hey, we need a little help." So it all worked out. It's going to be a great event, and security is going to be high, but we're looking forward to tonight.
That's awesome. And the place just looks great. This venue, the Antler, this has got to be quite the asset for the Tupelo area.
It sure is. We've got 2 or 3 like this, and it's been here a while, but it is a great setup. A rustic look. It's got everything you think of on the property to get married, to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, all kinds of events. Just an event venue. It's really cool. And been watching the staff all morning, very meticulously setting up all these tables. It looks great, doesn't it?
Well,
all the patriotic.
This is a really big deal for our community.
It is, and such a great cause. And Scott Burns and all the great work he and his team do, and all the donors that contribute to the efforts here. It's so important that we don't forget about our veterans, especially those who are disabled.
That's right, disabled and homeless.
Yeah,
we never know what's going through somebody's a livelihood. It could be us one day. So, I'm proud to say that Tupelo area, we don't have any homeless veterans right now.
Good.
Our efforts have been wonderful, and the disabled, and obviously Scott is right in there, a double amputee from the knee down. So he knows what a lot of these individuals are going through.
So a little bit of time left. I wanted to ask you about this new Tier 5 in PERS. Do you see that as being an impediment to hiring new folks?
Only time will tell. Obviously, they've done tiers before.
Yeah.
Not knowing what was going to happen, it all worked out. So I'm hoping this will too.
Okay.
We're doing good on our hiring right now. We're 100% in our police department. We're only a couple down in our fire department.
Okay.
And across the board, we don't have very many openings, so we're fortunate.
Well, I believe it wasn't too long ago you and I talked, and you had some openings you were trying to fill, right?
We did, and of course, going to the police academy, we lose a lot the first day. They just realize that's not what
it's rigorous. Should be, though.
That's right, to get through. And I think we had 2 firemen that were going through the academy right now. One of them dropped out, so we have, I think, only 2 open. We're 100% police. Not everybody is like that.
I got you. Mayor Todd Jordan, the mayor of the great city of Tupelo, has been our guest. Thanks for coming on, Mayor.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you,
Always a
sir.
pleasure.
Folks, we're stepping aside for a break. When